So for step 19, attaching the steering servo. Well, you can see we've got these two M1 pieces, and then we've got these flange nuts that are going to basically tighten up these screws and the washers on this. Then we've got the two screws coming up from the bottom to attach it to the chassis. And then we've got these two screws and washers to finally finish off attaching the side guards. So there are the two pieces that we need, and there is all the hardware that we need for this step. So I'll set this up and we'll put this together. So first off, let's work on this servo. So you can see that the way this is going to work, you can see the way this piece is, that one side has a square rectangular notch and then the hole. So you can tell that that's got to be facing backwards on the servo. And we're going to be using the MA2 screws with a couple of washers for attaching this. So if we grab one of our washers, that's going to go through the top. As you can see here, that's going to go into the bracket, and then it's going to be attached with the flange nut. If we can get that to work, let's try holding it this way and screwing it in. There we go. I have to tell you that I like this design, because how often do you screw these, put the screw into these plastic parts and it's a tapping screw, and often these just are moving around and it can be very hard. It seems like it's never easy getting the screw into the hole. Well, because these are going straight into these flange nuts, you're not worried about all the pressure you're putting on these brackets as you're trying to screw the screw in. So I actually quite like that. That seems very, very smart. So let's do the other side. So we're going to grab that screw, and we've got our washer. That's going to go into there. It's going to go through into that top hole there, just like that. And then grab our flange nut. And I think if I just start it a bit, oh, there we go. Yeah, I really love this design. It makes it so much simpler getting these brackets onto the servo itself. Very cool. So I'll just tighten this down on either side. Love it. Very, very cool. Okay, so there is our servo. So now that that's done, what do we have to do? Well, we need to attach this to the chassis. So if we grab our chassis, you can see that there are the two holes for the screws. This is going to sit down there like that. And we've got to get this screw up from the bottom to be able to screw it on. Now, it's a little awkward because we've already built the back end, and the back end's actually quite heavy. So I'm going to flip this around, and we're going to find the screw hole from the bottom. I think that'll be the easiest way to do this. I'm going to try putting the screw onto here. Actually, let's just put that into here, because what I need to see is that that is going into the right place. Let's make sure that that is going to go into the hole. Which it has done. So I'm not going to tighten it down all the way yet, because let's get the other one on. So again, we've got our small MB5, we've got a washer, and we're going to stick that into there. Actually, it's going to be easier to come in from the top using the screwdriver. There we go. And knowing how that is, I'm going to now hold this from the side a bit, and we're going to screw this down. Now, we can move this servo side to side if needed to make some final adjustments, but I think where I placed it was more or less center, so I'm okay with that. So just doing a final tightening down. So there we go. There's the servo from below, and then of course our servo from the top. Very, very cool. And so that means that that is now attached. So what we're left with is attaching the bumper or the side guard. So you can see that we're going to grab our large screw, the MA6 ones. We've got a washer, as it showed there, basically. So if I turn this around so you can see what I'm doing, we're going to take that and make sure that it goes into the hole on the side guard. And we're going to screw it in. Now again, remember, this is going into the soft plastic because the side guards are soft. So you're going to want to make sure that you don't over tighten that. But that's in place. So we'll grab the other one and our washer. Same idea. We need to make sure that that's going into the hole. There we go. And again, once you get to the end, don't over tighten this. And there we go. So we've got our side guards now fully attached, and we've got our servo installed. And again, I know I've said this over and over, but this is the best this is of any of these vintage kits. The idea that they've gone to this flange nut idea for installing these servo pieces, it's way easier. That was fantastic. So that's great. So we are done with step 19, and we can now move on to step 20 and attach the RC equipment.